Hello and welcome back to Good Knit Kisses. I'm your host Kristen and today is Loom Knitting Day. Hi, happy Tuesday. Happy loom knitting. How are my loomers out there? If you are a regular loom knitter checking in, hey, right, loomers rule. Yeah, I'd love to see if you guys are regular loom knitters or if you are curious. Are you loomer curious? That's such a silly thing to say. I'm getting on my website right now, and I wanted to pull this blog up that we just did, and let me go run to it right now. If you go to goodknitkisses.com, right now we have a blog running, and it's all about closed captions, and we also have some other things up and running for you. But I wanted to talk just for a few minutes about what happened yesterday and what we've been kind of talking about doing, and then I want to dive into a tutorial. So good morning. Welcome to the replay. If you have a question, write replay and ask your question. If you're joining me live, yay, welcome. If you want to join me live, I'm normally here at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time within a few minutes, and you just kind of have to hit refresh. If you don't get my notifications, be sure and like the Good Knit Kisses page and hit see first, and then that way it jumps to the top of your screen whenever you log on. But more importantly, what it does is it gives you a notification when I go live, and then you see it. So if you want to see my shiny face, if not, no worries. So, all right, I'm going to say hello, my magic mirror time. Good morning, Bridget. Hey, Carmen. Hola, ¿cómo está? Let's see, Ellen. Oh, it's Eileen. What did I say, Ellen? And Brenda and Heather. Good morning. Hi, Marie. Okay, you always write clink. Are you doing like a cheers kind of clink? What does that mean? Is that what that is? I don't know. Today I have my water bottle. Oh my gosh. I just had a shake. I slammed down my morning shake that I've been doing. And ooh, that was I didn't shake that up very well. It was a little chalky this morning. So yeah. Hey, Chris, good morning. I see you. Hey, Lori and Teresa. Oh, Marie, yes, she's doing a cheers. Clink. Good morning, Barb. So I have got my website up this morning. When Joanne or Carol join us, maybe they'll put the link up for us. But we talked yesterday about closed captioning, and I've got a project going on the blog. And Joanne, she is a whiz at all these number things. I mean, I got to tell you, I don't know how to do some of these things, or it would take me forever to figure it out. So she has gotten a spreadsheet going on like a Google Doc, a Google Sheet, and you actually click on it on the website, and you can sign up if you want to help with this closed captioning project, and then it gives you a link. And yesterday the link went directly to the web page to show you how to and then she gave a step-by-step on how to do it. But now that one goes directly to the closed captioning help or something. I don't know. She changed one of the links, and apparently it helps even better. So I'll have to experiment on it. And right now, because she was changing the blog like in the last 10 minutes. So anyway, so cool, so cool. We'll put the link in here in a few minutes. Barb, good morning. Hey, Rebecca. Hi, Katie. Hey, Martha. Good morning, sunshine. Hey, Inga. Good morning. Good middag. How do you say that? What language is that? That's not, I always say Guten Morgen for you, but you're not, that doesn't look German. But I am not, I don't know. I have a German last name, but that's my married name. My maiden name was Williams, so it could be anything. Hey, Robin, good morning. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Tarbox. Love the videos. They're great. Oh, thank you. Hi, Helena. How are you? Okay, so we've got the blog, and so if you go to goodknitkisses.com and you click on blog, you see a listing of all the blogs, and then you'll want to click on this one with my shiny face, And it's from February 27th. It says closed captioning project, GKK community, and we will put that link on there. I'm going to flip the screen and kind of show you. Hey, Chris, your maiden name was Williams? Awesome. Yeah, I never had to spell that name. I always had to spell my first name, so I have to spell my first and last. Although my last is super darn easy. It's like man Gus. This man's name is Gus, or Angus beef with an M. It's so simple, but people flip it and they're like, Magnus. I'm like, no, that's not it. That's not it. Hey, Martha, thanks for sharing my video. I appreciate that. So I'm going to flip the screen. By the way, I'm working on a Cindwood loom today. Woo, this big guy here, because I want to get the gauge right. And Joanne, she worked on the sweater thing. Okay, this was on needles, but I'm going to tell you, her sweater that she did on the Kiss loom regular gauge was with, I think she said 2 washers. It came out identical. So yay. Anyway, so cool. So, anyway, she did that. I wish I could show you a picture of it. It's on my phone, but we'll have to show you later. But I'm going to show you how to do some of these stitches. We're going to cast on, long tail cast on. If you haven't seen my video how to do it, we're going to do it today. And then I'm going to show you how to make these super cool bumps, which is the pearl one below. And yeah, so we'll do that. And you know, some other stitches to get to that point. So, let's see. I am reading. Okay. Yeah, that's a large loom. It's an S loom. It's for making like really large panels where you don't have to like, stitch the panels together. So, Lori, you think that's bad? Your maiden name was King and people asked how to spell it? Oh no. Oh gosh. That's crazy. Hey Teresa, hi. Okay, I'm gonna flip the screen here. Oh, this isn't connected very well. Hang on, I gotta like screw this in. We don't want my phone to fly out, do we? Okay, let's go. I'm gonna click on this project so it loads the page. Do you have any patterns for that loom? This one? I don't have a ton of patterns. I have one that I did a long time ago. It's this striped Afghan, and it has a chart. Basically, it's skipping in certain sequences on the loom, and I did it according to, like, it's set up for a couple of different looms. So yes, I have a pattern for it. The edges roll a little bit, but it's using it's made to be like a beginner pattern, so it doesn't look so beginner. But you can adapt it and add like a garter stitch to the beginning and ends and the edges. But it's mainly all E-wrap and then skipping in a certain procession, and then there's vertical stripes where you're skipping pegs. And then there's horizontal big bands of color, and so it has this real cool sort of look to it. But yeah, it's on there, and it's on different S looms. That one's, I think, I don't know if that's the 36 or the 48. I think that's the 36. So yeah, it's on my Etsy, it's on my Ravelry, it's on several different things. So anyway, hey Gayla, I see you hopped on. Is there any reason for the color pegs? Yeah, I'll show you. But it's for double knitting. You just skip the colored pegs. Flip. All right. So yeah, we were talking about this loom here. Let me see if I can get the light on here better. It's weird when I have the, yeah, that's better. Okay, so if you're working this, I'm gonna skip for just a second since everybody's asking about it. So if you've got knitting and you, let's see, let me just put something on here. So like, let's say you're going across here, then you would, you know, work your pegs like this, okay, or however your stitch is going, and then you would just skip, you know. So make sure and pick up all the pegs. I'm not sure that I started on the right one, but I'm just showing you how you just intentionally skip these pegs here. Oh, somebody calling me. Okay, sorry for the thing to skip. But anyway, that's how you do it. My phone went off just now. I can't do it on airplane mode because then I couldn't talk to you fine people. I think whenever I say that, I think of Jack. Jack from Titanic. Oh, gosh. Hey, good morning, Joanne. I've already bragged on you a few times over. Alicia says hypnotic hysteria has a pattern for these, for the universal loom. Cool. Yeah. She's got several things, for Cindwood. That's, Amanda Pratt. Is that her last name? Pratt? Amanda? Yeah, check her out. If you go to Cindwood, they have a bunch of different designers, in, patterns there too. So, anyway, all right. So that's that. All right. Hang on a second. I want to talk about closed captioning just for a moment. Okay. So this is my little iPad. I'm trying to make it to where we can talk about this first. So this is a closed captioning, project, and I'm on my webpage for the blogs. If you go up here and you hit blog there, and then you click on the closed captioning project for the GKK community. There's me. I love you guys. And anyway, just one of my goals for the YouTube channel is to add closed captioning to all my videos, and so I want to make them all accessible to everyone. And I really have like 400 videos, so it's a big project, and I've paid for several of them, but it's really expensive to do. And so many people said, you know what, can we help you with that? So yes. So Joanne, in her infinite wisdom and smarts that the Lord granted her, came up with this spreadsheet that's a Google sheet, and she even gave you these awesome instructions on how to do it. Okay, so, and actually since last night, she just made it better. So if you, or even like this morning, if you saw the post this morning and you looked at it, it's already changed, because in the last 20 minutes, this genius girl that's on the GKK team has updated it and made it even more brilliantly easy. So there's 5 steps. 5 steps is you follow this link and you click on it, and then you choose the video you want to caption, and the video title, see right here, follow the link, and you click on it and it goes boom, and I'll show you what that looks like. Choose the video you want to caption, and the video title and length are included to help you decide, and then you add your name, and you change the date and the status to in progress. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. So like, see how she put her name, Joanne Gay, and she put the date, and then it's in progress, and then she's got, that's the video title that she started. And this is the how long it is. She picked an easy one because she's super busy girl. And so she put in, and I'm just being cute because she is. And then this is the video link. And then that video link will take you directly to this page. There's no other gymnastics to do. And then you can start editing. Excuse me. And yesterday I showed how to do that. But basically you push play, you listen to the first just few words, you know, like 5 or 6 words, and then you just start typing. And when you hit the enter button or the plus button, it jumps down below, and then you can play and hit the next thing and do it again. And if you want to listen, you can drag this, there's a little red line, you can move it back over and then push play and see how it pops up in the screen. So it works really well, and it saves it as it goes. And so you don't have to do it all in one sitting, I don't believe. And then you can also click on this button if you want credit for your contribution. You can click that, and it will let your channel name be known. So like, let's say you want your channel name to be known. Click that, and you'll get credit for that. If you don't click it, then it'll be more anonymous. I'll know who did it, but anyway, that's how it'll happen. And then don't switch the language from English just yet. If you'll leave it on English, then we can then do a project. Then we can do a project where we get it flipped over to another language. But it's easier to translate when the English has been fixed first. So it really will. So I'm gonna go and look and see what your questions are. Let me see if I've missed anything. Martha the Killer Pigs. Sorry, I'm just reading. Christy, I got about 5 minutes done to the Loom Along Cow. Only took me about 45 minutes. Yeah, exactly. Learning curve. Yeah, and you have to listen to me and you have to hear me say and you don't have to write you don't I mean and you can leave out all the stammering if so I mean it's basically the gist of what I'm saying. See, and there I go with my I'm really bad about the ums. Even though I'm very comfortable, I do that. And I'm taking speech class. Can you believe it? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. I'm just scrolling on. Okay. Good call, Joanne. What did Joanne say? Oh gosh. What did she say? I have about 35 seconds done. Changing the speed lets you hear slowed down to give you more time to type. Very helpful. Oh yeah. Well, when you hear it slowed down, I never even thought about that. That's brilliant. It does make me sound drunk though. I've played them on slow motion before and it's like, hello, you know? All right. Enough of my yammering. Okay. Trying to find the best place to do this. Okay. We're going to ignore these blue pegs here. What am I going to do? Okay. So I want to do, I'm going to show you guys, sorry, I'm finding I had a stitch marker around here somewhere. Where did it go? Okay. So we've got, oh, this is my small stitch marker. Man alive, where are my big ones? Okay. Sorry, I'm a mess this morning. Okay. So we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so this is pretty wide, and I really wanted to get another sample of this done in this small. You know what? It's gonna take too long to do it that way. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. Should I do, how many pegs wide should I do? Normally I was going to do 21. This is what it is right here. This is what we're going to work on here. And this is a 21 cast-ons. I don't know how long you guys are wanting to stay around if I do a long thing, because I was going to work on this, but I can do about half that size. Let's just do it half that size. I was going to make a full one, but half would be better. Let's do, I'm going to just do 11 and bring that in. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ooh, that's pretty good. That'll be easier. Okay. Is this too dark? Is that okay? Okay. So we're going to do a long cast on. Sorry. Someone had a question. Once you enter your name on the spreadsheet, do you have to save it or anything? Also, good note that if your clip winds up being in the wrong spot, you drag that box to the line below. Yeah, you can see it on my tutorial, on my Q&A from yesterday. So if you go to Monday from yesterday, which is the one that was on the 28th, that one will show me doing it. Yeah, so you left all the ums, but it you were pretty literal. Okay, good. Let's see. Sorry. Developed a technique to automatically add closed captioning to recordings. Okay, we're going to have to chat later. Okay. All right, I'm going to show you the long tail cast on. So as anyone, if you've done the long tail cast on, let me know. Just write long tail if you've done it before. I'm going to measure out 3 times the width here. 1, 2, 3 of my pegs. Okay, that's approximately how wide I'm going. I know that there'll be some shrinkage, but that's a good way to measure out your long tail. And then we're going to make a slip knot right in the middle of that. Okay, and just like if I did the long tail cast on in the in needles, I always say the tail is toward me, the ball is to the back. Okay, that's the easy way to say it. Whether it's a skein or a ball or whatever, this is going to be towards the back. And so the tail toward me, it just makes me remember what I do first. Okay, so I'm going to put my slip knot on the first peg here. All right. And then I'm going to E-wrap this first stitch, and I kind of have to hold on to this tail here. Okay, now, okay, so I'm going to E-wrap this stitch here, okay, and then I'm going to take with my ball, I'm going to U-wrap, okay, and then knit over. And then I'm going to E-wrap with the tail, take my ball, the working yarn, and U-wrap, knit over. Okay, keep going, E-wrap. You could do a few in progression, but I wouldn't recommend doing more than that because your tension could change. So you just keep going. Oops. I don't know if y'all can hear me, but like people are moving trash cans outside my house for their house. Okay, that's my last one. And because your tail is all woven into there, look, and I've got, look at this little tail left, 4 inches, it's perfect. And then that will get woven in to the end with your tapestry needle later. Let's show you what the long tail cast on looks like. It's nice and stretchy, okay? Looks nice on the front and back. So this is the right side, this is the back. And it's nice and stretchy. I mean, I know this is a ribbing, but the binding, see, the cast on is stretchy and it's not loose. So that's what's going to happen. This one, even though I don't like how the E-wrap turned out, see, this is what it looked like on the loom. This was a 5/8 gauge, a Nifty Knitter, and see how it's identical. I know the stitch is different, the stitch size is different, but see how it's still stretchy. Oh, hopefully that was an accident. Somebody hit the angry icon. Okay, let me go back. Someone's saying my name. Gotta go for now. I'm sorry, Marie. Did I say what yarn this is? No, I didn't. Here, let me get you one. Let me show you. This is what this is. This is Bernat. Whoops. Bernat Roving. And it is a bulky 5. Okay. This is color Clover. And it's just it's a roving yarn, and I'm using this for this sweater pattern. This is the Easygoing Knit Sweater, and I'm trying to convert it to the loom for you guys. All right, Chelsea, this looks like Bernat Roving. Yeah, you're right. Joanne says, I just learned the long tail cast on thanks to you and love it. I actually frogged the beginning of your sweater to change it to the cast on. Yeah, I remember you said that. It's awesome, right? It's such a good cast on. I know that Stacia with, oh my gosh, what is her, I've totally forgotten her website. Loom Knitting Resources, is that it? Anyway, she's, or Loom Knitting Central. Anyway, she loves the long tail. Hey, Lisa, Kristen got to see me live today. Hey, what's the benefit of the long tail cast on? Is it the stretch? Yes, you nailed it, Christy. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so now I'm gonna work on this here. We're gonna do a ribbing, and in this we're just going to U-knit and then purl. So U-wrap knit. Oh, stop. And purl. You guys, talk amongst yourselves. If you're on a desktop, while I get a little bit of this going here. If you're on a desktop and you want to pull up a separate tab or browser, go check out goodknitkisses.com, and if we've got the link, maybe we could put that in there for them. This is, did I do that wrong? You, purl, you, purl, you, purl, you, purl, you. Did I do something wrong? Was that a purl that I did? Oh, good gravy. Did I mess something up while I'm talking? Y'all. Anyway, I'm messing things up. I'm trying to talk about 2 different projects, and that doesn't work for me when I'm working live here. I can't easily turn this while I'm working. Okay. This is a U. Anyway, if you go to the link, you can sign up for picking up your own, whatever you'd like to caption, if you like to caption. I know that someone said they wanted to do 2 15-minute ones, but don't sign up for a whole bunch. Just sign up for one at a time, and whatever you can work on. You know, try a small one first. If you try a small one first, like less than 5 minutes, it'll be easier, and you'll get that done and then understand the process rather than signing up for something like super big out of the gate and then feel bad if you don't do it on time, because I know for me it's easier to do it that way. Okay, so we're going to continue, and you just you knit this and keep going. I should have started this on another area before I started this morning. And I'm going to show you the pattern here. So this is a ribbing with U, and then purl, and then continue, and then the last one is a U. And you do this for like 8 rows. Okay. Oh, good gravy. I'm not paying attention. Okay. So let me get this pattern out. Hold on. Okay. So this is the pattern I'm working on. And if you go to the second page, or sorry, if you go to the first one, what it does is it talks about what stitches you need. And this knit one through the back loop is done on the wrong side. And so you have to change it when you go on to the right side, because all your loom knitting is on the right side. So it turns into a P. It turns into a purl one, I'm sorry, through the back stitch. Oh my gosh, people, what is my problem? Yes, okay, I can't even talk. I'm going down here, knit one below. This turns into a purl one below, and this, because this one right here is on the wrong side. But yes, I can't even talk, y'all. What's wrong with me? It's called no caffeine. Okay, so knit one through the back loop and purl one through the back loop are on the ribbing, and so they're twisted stitches. But when I did it on the needles versus the loom, I did like, this is needles and it looks great, but the gauge and the pegs and everything just don't lend itself well this way, and so it becomes really bulky, and so we changed it to a unit stitch. And I'll tell you, Joanne showed me her sample. She showed me a picture, and it looks just like this. It's just not like all the stitches look like this, like they're lined up nice. So but the sizing of the gauge is perfect. It's spot on. Then when you get to the main stitch pattern, you use this knit one below, but it actually becomes purl one below on this pattern. So anyway, when you go to the second page of the pattern, it's this is the ribbing I was just talking about right here. Okay, and then this texture pattern right here is the one that I'll show you how to do. So the first row is knit, and I'm going to show you how to set that up. Okay, so I'm not going to do all the rows on here. Let's say I actually did a good job and I got this right, because I haven't been getting it right, but we're just going to pretend. Okay, so I'm back over to the right. Okay, so I'm going to end my ribbing right on the right, okay? This if you're right-handed. If you have to do it left, if you have to do it opposite, if you're left-handed, I understand, but this is how the pattern is written. Okay, so the first row is knit, but what we want to do is we're going to set it up to where we set ourselves up for success on the next row. Oh, can I move closer? I'm sorry. And show the purl. I will show you a purl clearly, Martha, when I show you this next one here in a second, okay? Hold on. Breathe and slowly you'll begin to relax. Let me take a drink. Joanne says, Ellie, that's awesome. What did Ellie do? What happened, Ellie? Oh, she signed up for the hexagon? Holy cat hair, Batman. That's awesome. I'm sorry. Excuse me while I cough in your ear. Okay. The texture pattern is first row, right side knit. So we're going to go across and knit. Okay. But don't be tempted to not set up for this row. So it's critical on the first row that you set up because it makes it faster. Yes, I said faster. Because otherwise you would have to like unknit some things. And so I'm going to show you how the first row, I want you to kind of, in your mantra in your head, is use the word setup. Okay, so setup, and then second, and then third and fourth. Okay, so the third and fourth are actually going to both get knit. Because the second row is a wrong side row. This pattern is written for needles. I want you to imagine that all the even rows in this pattern are opposite. So when it says purl, you're going to say knit. Same thing up here, okay? So second row, the first stitch is going to be purl. So we need to purl the stitch, okay? Here we go. Let me zoom in. See if I can. Is that clear? Clear as mud? Okay. So for purling, want to make sure and put our yarn below, and we're going to pick up that yarn and get a new loop, right? And then the old one comes off, and then we put that new one on, and then kind of pull it together like that. Okay, so here comes our setup. What's going to happen now is, now if I'm on a kiss loom, which is really cool, I have this little winding technique, okay, on a kiss loom, because they have these pin and peg systems, okay? So if you have a kiss loom, you're going to love this pattern because it works up really nice. You just have to remember setup row, okay? So you might have to perform it a little different, or just remind yourself that to not knit these stitches on a kiss loom. Okay, so this stitch here is not going to get knit, but I'm going to put the yarn above, okay? Man, I need to be in an angle. Okay, hold on. Let me adjust my camera because this is not a good angle. Okay, hang on. I'm adjusting my tripod, so just give me a moment here. How's that? Better? All right. So this is not going to get knit, okay, because we're setting up. I'm going to go to this one here, and I'm going to put my yarn to the back for a U-wrap. And I'm going to just knit it over like that. Now, go ahead and tug on that. We want to have this nice and loose, okay? Okay, tug on that. Now, we're going to go around and skip this peg with the yarn in front, and then we're going to knit this over. Okay, so keeping it nice and loose. All right, keep going. Make sure that's nice and loose. On a kiss, oh my gosh, it works so well. Looking at her sample, it looks identical to the needles. Okay, and then we're going to come all the way down here, and when you get to your last stitch, this gets purled, okay, because according to the pattern it's knit, but because we're on the opposite row, we're doing oh, I'm sorry. Wow, I purled this one earlier and I shouldn't have. It should have been knit. Because I was thinking of my setup. Okay, so I just undid that. Oh, you didn't even get to see how I did it. Okay, well, anyway, that first one should have been knit on this particular row. Okay, so anyway, when you come down to this end, you're just going to hold the yarn in front of here and then knit. Same thing for the end here. Just make sure that you've got enough slack. Man, it's hard to work with this close up the way I've got it done. Man, this is a bad setup for me. It may look fine for you, but it's really hard to manage. Okay, so when I come on to the second row, this is where I'm going to purl the first stitch. Pardon my mess up before. Purl the first stitch on row 2. Okay. Row 2 is the only one that's going to have these purls on it. Okay. And then I'm going to purl both of these stitches together. Okay. Technically these stitches, it's not a purl 2 together. It really isn't. It's a knit 1 below. A purl 1 below. But we've set it up, hanging that other one over just for the loom. So it's just performed different on the loom. So now I've knit 1 below, or purled 1 below on this one, and now I'm going to purl. I'm going to knit this one. So the pattern says knit 1, so I purled it. This one is knit 1 below, so I purled it. This one says purl 1, so I'm knitting it. So this one is knit. And then I'm going to purl. So just like in the ribbing, it has like a knit, purl. It's just that I'm doing these together. Okay. And then knit. I think these blue pegs are just throwing me off. I promise I know what I'm doing. Boy, I sound like I don't today. Okay, Christy says you can mess up on another one so you can fix it and show people. Okay. Well, okay. So this is supposed to be a purl, but but this is how I would undo it when it's a knit like that. Then I just pop this back over, and then I would do it. But that's not how I messed it up a while ago, Christy. I'm trying to think how I would show you guys how to fix that again. I know, I need to do one of those videos where I just show messing up and how to fix it. Anyway, this is a purl. And then now you're just gonna knit. And so how I remember it is, I have a setup row, I have row 2, and then I have knit 2 rows. And so nothing happens from here and then to here, and then I do another setup, and then I do the weird row, work 2 rows, and so back and forth, back and forth. And that's all you need to know on how to do that stitch. And I promise I'm gonna make it better when I do the official video. That's why, yeah, live is just not so good when it comes to these things. Just make sure that your U-stitch is nice and loose and not super tight. And you do work that peg twice, the end pegs, they're not a turning peg, so they're not going to be skipped. LOL, the weird row. It's totally true, Joe. Okay, so I'm back. Okay. All right, so let me see if there's any questions on that, or just generally laughing at me, which is what's best. Oh, I'm sorry, Heather. Hope you have a good day. Okay. Sorry. Okay. I'll let Joe answer all those questions about the Kiss looms. Okay. Chris says I'd mess up all the time if I was doing live videos. I get really nervous. Yeah. And I need to change the air conditioning. Oh my word. It is hot in here. It's like really humid and I'm wearing a sweater today, which is not so cool. Ha ha ha. Not so cool. Punny, Kristen. Punny. Okay. So here's the setup row. And we're going to do setup, and then this is supposed to be knit. Okay, so we've got a knit, and then we've got get these two together where I'm not knitting. So don't knit, but make sure that's nice and loose. And come over, and so basically it's like you're working pairs at a time. And after a while, it gets faster. Except when you're working on a table and trying to do a live video with a heavy loom. But other than that, okay, so there's that. And then now I'm going to come back and I'm going to purl this row on the first peg only. And then now I'm going to purl two together, which is actually the purl one below, because I had the setup. If I didn't do the setup, I'll show you what happens. So here's my knit stitch between. Okay, let's say that I had accidentally knit that over, okay? Like say you just forgot, okay? And you're coming along, you're like, oh no. Well, make sure you go and look at the back of your loom, okay? And then you see this little stitch here, you need to grab it and pop it back over. So if you work that entire row and you said, oh no, I meant to do a purl two below, then, or purl one below, then you would have to do that. So you just grab it, purl it, and put it back on, and then work the next U stitch, purl this, put it on, work that next stitch. Man, I'm really zoomed in for somebody, but man, it's hard. Okay. I was trying to keep it in frame and it's just making it really difficult. I'm sorry. I hope you got to see what you needed to see. I think that was making me stress out. Okay. Okay, and then now at the end of this row, I have to purl it. I'm going to show you a close-up of what this looks like. Okay, and so once you did that, then you're like, okay, normal knit for 2 rows until you come back. So it's like, go, come back. Okay, you just go to home. So anyway, you just continue going back and forth, and then until you knit the inches that you need to knit according to the pattern. So this pattern right here is the back is where you cast on for whatever sweater size you're doing, and you work your ribbing, which is like 8 rows basically, and then you do the texture pattern, and then that forms 4 rows, and then you continue in your pattern and you work until the beginning from the edge of your knitting. So until from here, and then you work all the way up to, so when you measure, you're including this part, it measures 19 inches, and then you end on a wrong side row. So wrong side rows in here are the even rows. So you end after completing an even row. Okay, so no matter what it is, if it's a row 2 or a 4, you end there. So I hope that helps. And then you're gonna shape the armholes, and you just basically do this. So you continue in the pattern, except the beginning 4, like when you start that next row, you bind off or cast off 4 stitches at the beginning of the next 2 rows, and then it shows you what the stitches are for those. And then you just continue in these instructions. And I'm gonna do a knit along in this on needles. And I think we're going to try doing one on the loom, but it's going to take a little longer to do that because it's hard for me to go back and forth between them. It's better for me to do one at a time, and I had promised already to do the needle one first. So that's what I'm going to work on, and then we'll do the loom one. But in the meantime, you can start learning how to do this stitch on here. And then it's really cool just to incorporate this stitch. So let me move this right here. I want to show you what this looks like. Okay, I'm looking at the needle one because this is how Joanne's looked, and she did it on the Kiss Loom. And see, it's nice. It's still stretchy. Still stretchy. It has this bumpy texture to it. See that? Isn't that nice? And then if you look, it looks like a stocking knit, okay, which is all knit stitches except for every other row. So these rows that bump up, what you're seeing is that extra stitch that was worked in there is now towards the back. Okay, it makes this bump out here. And then there's this little stitch here that I can't even talk. Anyway, this is where they're purled together. Okay, see this extra stitch here? It bumps out. Okay, and then it makes this pull forward. See that? And then there's a little bump here to kind of imitate this pulling forward on the end. So that's that purl bump that was worked in on the beginning and end. There's the purl bump. And then these two stitches here protruding outward help this knit stitch go forward. Does that make sense? And then this is the back. Which looks nice. And it may make you think of doing a whole bunch of purl stitches all together with a row of knitting, except then it still has this little vertical slight stripe to it. If you kind of look, it has a little bit of that vertical, but it's really protruded here because that column is really sticking out because of the purl bumps making it move forward. So this is the one that was done on the Nifty Knitter loom. And I gotta tell you, like when I worked on it, this was, let me get the loom out, I'll show you. I did this on this loom, okay? And if I had done it on the Kiss, I wouldn't have even had to stretch it out. But this one came to me like, it was like this. And I had to pull on it to get all the stitches to line up, to get it to look more like this. But on the Kiss loom, it came out perfect for Joanne. Now, I'll show you the other loom I started working on. So if you're gonna ask me, which loom can I use? Well, first of all, you need a loom that's gonna have enough stitches for your size. So if you go and look at this pattern, okay, here's the pattern, and you wanna find your size, and it goes from extra small or small to 4 or 5XL, okay? So according to the one you want to do, you're going to look at that color on the number, and if you're not sure, you can highlight as it comes across, but you're going to want to have enough to cast on the stitches for whatever one you choose. So when you go to the back, you need to have one that can cast on 63 stitches for the small or up to 97 stitches on the 4 or 5XL. I'm going to be casting on 91 for myself because I'm a 3XL, and I can double check, don't guess, measure yourself. So I measured at 54. I'm being real, y'all. This is my measurement, 54. This is a fit, okay? So if it's like nice and snug, and then this is the finished size because it will stretch. Okay, so don't worry about it being tight. This is not a tight sweater. This is not the 50s tight sweater. This mama is not going to wear that, so I will wear that. So I'm making this for myself. I mean, I could be easy on myself and make a small for one of my kids, but who am I kidding? I want to wear this thing. Okay, so that's the most stitches that are cast. Oh shoot, stop. Really? That's not what I want. Okay, there we go. Sorry. I think that's the most stitches it's cast on. When you do the front, let's see, sleeves 33. That is the most. Yeah, that's the most cast on. So you're gonna want to look at these. Oops. You're gonna want to look at these numbers here. Okay. So that's what you need to know. So yeah, you're gonna cast that on. Here's the KB loom. If you're wanting to know about the 28-inch loom, I'm doing a sample on here, And I was testing it with still trying to do the E-wrap stitch to make it more like this one. But I'm telling you that the U-wrap is going to work better, because look how this is like all blown out. It just doesn't work on the looms. The peg is interfering. It's the size of them. And even on this size peg, okay, which is smaller profile than this one, it still isn't quite measuring up. See? It's just not. Yes, this is going to come off the loom, and yes, this is going to shrink up, but honestly, I think it's going to do much better. And Joann's look like this one anyway on the Kiss with the U-wrap stitch. So we'll see how this one turns out. I'm going to work up this sample this week and see how that turns out. But see how tight this is? Look at that. I don't like that. So we'll see what it looks like when I get a little further down. But the stitches are just not comparable. See that? They are a little tight, okay? However, I don't think they're going to relax enough. They're just, now I am a tight knitter, I will give you that. So having the Cindwood, because they are larger pegs, is going to keep me from having them as super tight as this one is. And then this S Loom is going to have definitely enough stitches to work, because I've got enough pegs on here. Okay, so I hope that made everything as clear as mud. Oh gosh, let me scroll through here and see if I missed anything. You can see better at the further angle. Oh, thank you. Okay, well, I moved it back because we had someone who asked me to get closer, but it was so close. It was way too close. Okay, Debbie, bye. I'm sure she's already gone, but I was going out of frame. Yeah, when it's too close. Yeah. If you need it close, or like super close on something sometimes, I don't know. It just doesn't always work, and it's hard for me to keep it in the frame. I try and do a good job, but you know, you can always push the pause later. When it's live, you can't push pause. But anyway, and sometimes you can like really see it anyway. What's the link to the loom website? Looks like Joann may have put that up. Kiss Looms. Oh. Oh, Gayla says I go to the Kiss site and drool here. They're just pretty to look at. Yeah. Now Kiss has like some heirloom looms. I wouldn't suggest getting an heirloom loom to start off with. I would suggest chatting it up with Kelly. Also, there is a kind of a support group. Kiss loomers are super family friendly. Like, they are just like family when you sign up with them. They have a Facebook group. They're super supportive. I will say this. Please don't order a whole bunch of custom things from Kelly. These are all handmade looms. I don't have one in reach. I can't show you, but they're all handmade looms. She and her family make them. And if you haven't used one before, I suggest just, if you want to do this project, then get the one for this project. Or you can buy like a small one, but I wouldn't go and like make a whole bunch of custom stuff until you have worked with them. I'm not saying you won't like it, but your needs may change. And anyway, so but you can do anything on the Kiss looms, and it's really easy to convert needle patterns. There's a YouTuber, Catherine Dubberly. She goes by the Answer Lady. She goes by Kate Winslow on Facebook, and she has a ton of videos that she's worked with Kiss looms. She's very knowledgeable because she's also a machine knitter. So if you subscribe to her YouTube page, you're going to see machine knitting as well. And that's good because she understands the concept of how to switch over things from needle patterns. So she's extremely knowledgeable. Her website is a little hard to navigate, but if you just go to her YouTube channel and then kind of search for whatever you want to look at. But anyway, her videos on the Kiss, she's got a ton of techniques. There's also another loom knitter out there that she does. Oh my gosh, she's been doing like a huge dictionary. What she call it, a stittionary or something. Somebody help me out and tell me the YouTuber. But anyway, she's been making all these videos. Her name is, why is her name escaping me? Anyway, if anybody knows her name and you know who I'm talking about, then please put it up. But I'm having a total brain fart, and I know who she is. Anyway. Okay. Katie, but are you knitting your sweater on needles for yourself? Yeah, I'm knitting my sweater on needles for myself. Yes. And then what I'm doing is, the reason why I'm making these so small is because I'm limited on how much extra yarn I have, and I'm making a matching sweater, and I'm going to give it to my daughter for her American Girl doll. So this is getting sized for her American Girl doll. It's a little long on it, which actually look really cute when she has like little leggings and stuff. So if you have like an American Girl doll or one of the kind of similar dolls that are in the same proportion, I forget what they call them at the different stores, but anyway, it'll fit her. So yeah, and then that way I can make that on the loom, and it's like a smaller scale, but I can show you how to hang it back on the loom. And Joanna's working up a sample as well. So thank you, Joanne, for your help. And yeah, I want to do the same sweater. Anyway, yeah, on the loom, I will do it. It'll just be a small scale, which doesn't really matter because I am not going to knit sweaters in all sizes for all people. You just have to know that you have to change the stitch count number, and I'll show you, hey, this is where, for whatever size you're on, you're going to do this one, this one, this one, you know. Anyway, and it's going to be a slow knit along. It'll be in sections. So I'll do the video that has just the back, and then I'll do a video. Well, first of all, I'll do another video just like I did for needles, which has this stitch like all worked out. So if you were just like a trooper and you're like, all I need is a video showing the main stitch and I can figure the rest out, awesome. And then I'm going to do a video on needles for doing the whole back, then the front, then I think it's making the sleeves, and then doing the shoulders and the neck, and then you add on this like cowl. It's sort of like this one. It's like a cowl top, and then our the cowl neck, and then the finishing. So and then I'll do that in pieces on the needle, and then I'll have to do that on the loom. Martha says, what is your favorite loom, round or do I like the straight ones? Oh no, just, I don't really have a favorite. I kind of like them all. I really don't. It just depends on what I'm working on. It's kind of like I just grab the right tool for the thing I want to make, whatever I'm inspired to make, and just go for it. I tend to use looms that can be used circular, so whether they're already a round loom or they're like, you know, like this is a rectangle loom, but I can go circular on here. That infinity loom I can use circular or flat panel, so I can do circular or flat panel on any of those. I don't do as much double knitting. I don't. Simply because I live in Texas and it's going to just get too thick. But there's some really great double knit things that you can make. And I love and appreciate them, but I just don't make them. So anyway, all right. Well, it is getting late. It is so good to have you guys. I'm so glad you joined me today. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully I didn't like screw you up, because I was really messing up today. So anyway, you guys have a great day. I hope to catch you tomorrow. Happy knitting and crochet. Bye, everyone.